Okay, hello YouTube. Welcome to our fifth tutorial in Algebra 1. Today we'll be talking about solving simple word problems with equations. So up here I have our first problem that we're going to be doing today, but we'll be getting to that after I give you guys some key vocabulary that you guys should know to be able to ace any of these problems, especially when you ever come across them. So first, let's start off with this. Suppose you're given something, in the equation you see something that says the word sum, or you see the word added. These terms should immediately tell you that whenever you have this, you're going to have an addition problem. Okay, those are just key words that represent addition will be coming up. Second, if you see something that's a difference, then you can be sure to to expect some subtraction problems, because this just represents subtraction. And there's no easy way to memorize this. As long as you guys get this down pat, you guys should be able to do any problems that you come across in word problem format. Third, if there's two words for this. If you see the word product, or if you see the word times, that should be a dead giveaway that this is multiplication. And finally, if you see a word like quotient or divided by, then that represents division. Divided by, so like if 5 is divided by 3, what's the answer? It's 5/3. This is division. Okay, so since we've gotten this out of the way, let's go and tackle our problem that we've already had up here. So the problem is the quotient of 15 and n is a number. What is that number? So naturally we know that the quotient of 15 and n is a number. All this means is 15 divided by variable n, which we do not know yet, is equal to, instead of a number, I'm just going to change this, guys, because without this you wouldn't be able to solve the equation. How about we made this into 3, just to keep it really easy. 15 divided by n equals 3. Okay, so 15 divided by what is equal to 3. So it seems like we have to solve for n. So let's do this. Maybe if we multiplied, no, let's not multiply, let's just say this. Okay, so what divided by n equals 3? We know that 5 times 3 is 15. So we know that 15 divided by 5 equals 3. Another way we could solve this is just by dividing both sides by 3 by the division property of equality. Then we get 5 divided by n equals 1. And then after this, if we just multiply both sides by n, because this 5 divided by n is the same thing as 5 over n equals 1. If we multiply both sides by n, then we'd simply get n over 1, which is the same thing. Then we'd get 5n over n equals 1, or that would be equals n, and that would, sorry, this is an n, not a 1. Oh, all over the place today, guys. So we get 5n over n, 5n over n. The n's will cross out because they're just being multiplied, and then we get n equals 5. And another easy way would just be if you guys knew that 15 divided by 5 equals 3. This is really a lot more complex than you would have imagined 5 times 3 being, or 15 divided by 5 being. Yeah, so let's just get on to the next problem. Must have been like a lot of unnecessary work that we just didn't need to go through. Okay, so now we have this. 5 times a number plus 3 equals 8. So as we should recall, when we see the word plus, this tells us to add, addition's coming up. And when we see times, we know that multiplication is coming up. For multiplication, I'm going to use the shorthand form MULT dot. Okay, so let's write this out. 5 times a number, and just like last time, we were just given n, but a number would just be a variable, a simple variable. In this thing, I usually like using x for my variable because that's just what I've been growing up doing. But if you guys feel comfortable with any other letters, feel free to choose anything else. So let's do this. 5 times, I'm just using a dot for multiplication. Just remember guys, this means multiplied. 5 multiplied by a number, I'm using x, plus 3 equals 18. You guys see how we just use this to these key terms to dictate what we have to do? By knowing that times referred to multiplication, we were able to get 5 times this variable x. And by knowing that plus meant add, we were able to get x plus 3. So remember, you guys should always remember to use your PEDMAS. If you guys don't know what that is, you guys should probably go watch our other videos. I'm pretty sure it was our first video actually. So PEDMAS is actually parentheses, exponents, division, multiplication, addition, subtraction. All this refers to is the order of operations in which you should be trying to solve equations. So this is we have in this equation we only have two things. We have addition and we have multiplication. So if we look on our chart, we see that multiplication actually comes before addition, so I'll be doing our multiplication first. So right now we have 5 times x plus 3, so that makes this 5x, because that's what 5 times x is, plus 3 equals 18. Now if we use the subtraction property of equality, then we can get rid of the 3 on this side, because remember guys, when we're solving an equation, we want to isolate x on its own, which means we just want to get x by itself. We don't want to have it with any of our other coefficients. Again, if you guys don't understand any of the vocabulary I'm talking about in this video, feel free to go back to one of my old videos where I'll be explaining this stuff to you. So by subtraction property of equality, we're going to subtract 3 from both sides. And then when we do this, we have 3 minus 3, which is 0, and 18 minus 3, which is 15, right? So in the end, we get 5x equals 15, x equals 3. Okay, so we have x equals 3, but just to be sure that we have the right answer, let's plug it in. So I'm going to test over here, and let's test our value over here. So suppose we have 5 times 3, I'm just going to use this parenthesis like this for 3, plus 3 equals 18. So 5 times 3 is 15, plus 3 equals 18, and 18 equals 18. This means we did this equation properly and we got the right answer. So if you guys did get the right answer while you guys were working along, great job guys. Let's just head on to our next equation. Oh. Don't know what's happening. Just get rid of that. Oops. Okay, so I guess I can get rid of it. So I guess we're stuck with whatever that is. I guess I can actually just do this though. Oh, there's an X on it. Okay, my bad guys. Okay, so we just did this problem. Let's go on to our next one. So we have, what is it? You know what, yeah, let's just leave this in the middle. So we have the quotient of 12 and 3. So down here under this question I'm going to do the test, and up here I'm going to solve. So the quotient of 12 and 3, which means we have 12 divided by 3 and is multiplied by a number. Is multiplied by a number. I like using x, just like you guys should already know by now. And get rid of that. Okay, is multiplied by a number and added to 3 to equal 23. What is the value of our variable number? So first, let's just solve 12 divided by 3. We know 12 divided by 3 is 4, and 4 times x, and then by using the subtraction property equality, we can subtract 3 from both sides. Then we would get 4 times x equals 20. Gonna go back over here. And then we're going to get, since 4x equals 20, and if we use the division property of equality, which we learned 2 videos ago or 3 videos ago, we divide both sides by 4, because what you do to one side, you have to do to the other side as well in equations, because we have this equal sign. If we did one thing to one side and we didn't do it to another side, then our two things would no longer be equal. So after dividing 4 from both sides, then we get 4 over 4x, which is just equal to 1x. So it means we get x equals 5. Now let's go down here and test. When we have a value of x equals 5, we have 12 divided by 3 times x plus 3. Now I'm gonna get my eraser over here, replace x with 4, and see if this is equal to 23. First, we have 12 divided by 3, which is 4. Oh, this is not 4, it's 5. I got 5 for my last answer. What am I doing? 4 times 5 plus 3 equals 23. Not 32, 23. Silly mistake. I'm drawing an arrow to go over here. And then we have 4 times 5 is just 20. Plus 3 equals 23. And 23 equals 23. Which means this is indeed the right answer to our equation. So you guys just remember, head mass is really important, because as you guys can see, the only reason I put these two things in parentheses was because since we're going right to left, and we already knew that there was no more multiplications or exponents, it's fine to put parentheses over this because this is going to be the first thing we do anyway. Okay, now I have prepared a problem for you guys to try out. It's not especially difficult, but it's still one of the harder ones that we've done today. So if you guys want to pause the video, then feel free to do that. Try to work this problem out on your own. And if you guys get stuck, I'll come in and I'll help you guys out. So hopefully at this point you guys at least paused the video, tried it out, and now you finally unpaused it. And now I can hopefully go through this with you guys to make this just a little bit clearer for you guys. So we see the word 3 is added. So right away we know we have an addition. A-D-D-I-T, addition. And then now we know over here that we have a subtraction. Just want to S-U-B-T-I. To get a number. What is the number? So whenever we just remember, whenever we have the word a number, all that means is a variable. Because a number is just something we don't know, and a variable is also something we don't know, which means a number is a variable. Okay? Just to get that clear. So let's write this out the way we see it. We have the words 3 and 12, and we're saying 3 is added to 12, which means addition sign in the middle. And then we have 12 and 3, 12 and 3, and we see subtracted with 12 and 3 itself, and subtracted by 3. 12 is subtracted by 3 to get our variable. I like using X. You guys can choose something funky like Q or R or P. It's up to you guys, not up to me. Okay, so let's do this. So we have 12 plus 3, which is 15. And then we're going to carry the negative 3 over, equals X. And then what we're going to do is 15 minus 3 equals 12, equals X. So let's draw this up really big up here. X equals 12. Now, it's really fun to draw things super big. What do you guys think about that? Okay, so hopefully you guys have learned something in this video. If you have, please leave a comment, like, and subscribe. And I hope to see you in the next video. Video number 6. Peace.